So again, this is Excel Simulation 2A. There is an Excel Simulation 2A and 2B. Both of them have a lot of important things for you to do. So we're going to go to the very first thing. It says select columns C and D and insert 2 columns. So let's select them. You select them by clicking on the actual letters themselves and just dragging, and it tells us to insert 2 columns. The easiest way to insert them is to right click and choose insert, but you could also go and choose insert columns here. So let's go and just right click and choose insert. Let me get out of this, and let's go and click on insert, and notice that it did it to the left, so we're good here. Tells us in C11, which is here, to type in 13129, and I'm going to just click on the enter key up here so it stays in the same cell. So what it's going to do is the flash fill is going to look to the left here and try to find a pattern in. So let's go and click on fill and flash fill, and let's see what happens. And it did. Notice that it got the 13358, 13688, or 15688 in here. So now in D11, now we want the oak tree or the cherry tree. So we're just going to click on oak. And again, I'm going to hit the enter key up top here. We'll do flash fill. And it filled in the pattern over here. So now we're going to delete B. We don't need it anymore. So I'll just click on delete. Now clear contents is not the same as deleting, and cutting is not the same as deleting. Delete just will automatically delete the column for you. Cutting will allow you to move the column. So that takes care of this, and that was number 1. Select column C. So let's go select column C, and we're going to actually move it. So let's click on cut. And notice you have the marching ants. That's what they're actually called. We're going to go to H1 here. And I'm going to right click and choose paste. And a lot of times it'll tell you to insert cut cells, which is right here. And here is also the paste. So I normally just want to click on insert cut cells. And it did not like that. And the reason being is you need to be up top here to do this. So let's try to insert cut cells there. See, in this particular case, it doesn't like you to do that because it wants you to just click on paste. So we're going to just click on paste here. And that worked. So bear that in mind when you're in a regular Excel, you can do it that way. So let's take care of deleting column C on the sheet worksheet. So this is C. We don't need it anymore. And let's just delete it. Now you see it, now you don't. Select columns A through G. And we want to do auto fit. Now you can double click here and do the auto fit. Or if you don't like doing it that way, just go to format and choose auto fit. Just make sure you're choosing auto fit column width. Then we want to merge A1 to H12, which you should be familiar with right now. So, or A1 to H1 rather. So we're going to click on merge and center. And then we want to apply the title slide format. So let's go to title style and click on it there. And that was number 2. So click on cell B4, which is right here. And we want to do AutoSum. So what's going to happen is the AutoSum is going to try to figure out on its own where to go by going up, down, left, or right, depending upon what's there. Here it's probably going to have a problem because it really doesn't know where exactly to go. It's going to go down, hit a non-number, no numbers here. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on AutoSum. And notice that it filled it in here. So we're going to type in A11 to A39, which is the same as selecting it. So you can type it, or you can just go and drag it down. So whatever you want, since it tells you to type A1 in here, you can type it here. You should be able to type it in here, but because it's a simulation, it's not letting you do it. So let's go and select it. Now, if you didn't want to select it, or maybe went all the way down, you could just go and select a few, and then you could just change this to 39. Whatever way is most convenient for you. I like to select. Sometimes I use the name up here, which is not letting me do in the simulation. Pressing enter, and it gave me the sum. So everything here should add up to 3022. Then we want to do average. Now you can actually get the average from here, and you can get the min and the max, but there's some other things that you can't do that are only in the statistics. So let's click on formulas, and there is no statistics here, so you need to click on more, and then you'll notice that there's statistics with a whole bunch of stuff in here, and one of them is average. So now again, we don't know what to do, but this is a lot easier because now we can just go and select that we want. And let's try it up top here, see if it lets us do it. So we want to select the average. Okay, so it is not letting us do it here. So we'll just go in here and do D11. I'm going to physically type it in this time. D11, D39. Or I could have selected it. And it's going to give us, again, 3022. Not really sure why. Might have to hit the tab key to get it to. Let's see if it happens to be it. And actually, that worked out good. It was 107.89. So now we're going to do median. So I'm going to click here. And again, if you go to AutoSum, you're not going to find median in here. So you're going to have to go to formulas and statistical. And you're going to have to drag down to find median. And we'll just do the same thing. This time I'm going to drag it. So we want D11 to D39. Again, that's many different ways to do the same thing. Hit the enter key and hit the OK. And now we're good. It just turned out that 107.99 is both the medium and the average. So now we want to do the lowest retail price. So there's two different ways that you can do it. You can go into the formulas and statistics, or you can just choose the AutoSum min. So we want to do D11 to D39. So again, I'm going to try it up here, which again, it's still not letting me. So let's go D11 to D39. And then we want to do the highest, which will be max. And I'm just going to type it up here. So you've seen different ways of doing the same thing. And it happens to be 117.98. So we want to select the range A4 to B8, which is this. I'm not a big fan of dragging and dropping in Excel. You can, you just have to be careful. Notice that the crosshairs are there and move it. I'm more of a cut and paste. So it wants us to drag it to D4 to E8. So instead of dragging it, I'm going to click on cut and I'm going to put it in D4 and choose paste. And then we want to auto fit the selected columns. So let's go to format and auto fit column width. Select the range D4 to E8. So we have D4 to E8. And we want to put the 20% accent 1 style. So we'll go to cell styles and choose 20% accent 1. Now we're going to format cells and align things. So we're going to go to select C4 to C8. and it wants us to merge and change the alignment to 30 degrees. So we can do that all in one easy way. So I'm going to right click and we'll choose Format Cells, wherever it is, and here it is, which is basically the same thing as this format. So notice that we want to go to Alignment, does tell us, and to merge cells, just click on Merge Cells, which is basically the same, only it's not going to center it. So now we want to change the degrees to 30. You can drag this up here if you want and try to get 30. It's not letting you do it in a simulation, or you can use this arrow. So let's just type in 30 here and see if I have everything else done. So it looks like that's good for this. So notice how it moved it up 30%. Insert 3 blank rows before row 9. So in order to do 3, we're just going to select 3 rows, and we're going to right click, choose Insert, and it'll insert 3 rows on top. Select rows 9 through 11, which we have over here, and we want to clear the formats. So notice if I right click and choose Clear Contents, that's not the same. So to clear it, the easiest way to go is just click on this and choose Clear Formats. All right, in cell A10, type Oak Trees. So we need to find cell A10, type Oak Trees. Did not like the way I did that. In cell A10, Oak Trees. And maybe I missed the S. So let's click on this here. So that worked. So we want to activate B10, and we want to count to find out how many oak trees we are. So the count if is not the same as count A. Count A means count it if it's not blank. Count if is a specific condition. So here we're going to go, and there's different ways that you can get to it. So let's see how it wants us. It wants us to go to More Functions and Statisticals. You could choose this and type in count if. And you can notice that there should be statistical here. So it should let you do it. We're going to find out right now. We're going to click on count if. And, or you could have actually typed in count if up here. And then what we want to do, we're going to click on OK. And then it wants to find the range is G14 to G42. So let's go to G14 to G42. Different ways to do the same thing. And then what we want to do is type in oak. Now as soon as I type in oak, it assumes it equals oak. And it's actually going to put in the quotation marks for us. So let me type in oak. And I'm going to hit the tab key so you see what I'm talking about. So notice that it put in the oak. And then it will count how many oaks there are in this range. So let's click on OK. I think there's 13. If I remember, I guess we're going to find out. And it is 13. So now we're going to change the alignment to align left. You should be able to hit Control L in Excel, but let's just click on this here, and that aligned it to the left. In cell H14, which is stock level, and actually I'm in 13, so stock level here. So we want to do a condition that checks to see what our stock level is and either order or click on OK. So we're going to choose the if function. So let's go into formulas, and it tells us to go to logical, which is if. So now the test is A14 is greater than 75. So this happens to be A14 greater than 75. And the value, if true, we're going to type in order. Otherwise, we're going to type in OK. notice that it filled in the quotes for us. So let's click on OK and see what happens. Okay, apparently did not like what I'm doing, so let me check for spelling or check in here. A14 is, because I put in greater than 75. So now we can just fill it down with whatever method you like the most. Okay, so now we're going to do conditional formatting. Notice that it's selected, or you could do one and use the format painter. Conditional formatting is on the home tab, so let's click on conditional formatting. And we want to highlight cell rules, and we want to see if the cell contains the word order. So we just want to find out text that contains order. And then it wants bold italic, change the font color, and a whole bunch of other nonsense. So we need to go to custom format and find bold italic. If you do click bold and all of a sudden you're clicking OK, 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 and it keeps telling you invalid or doesn't do anything, make sure it's bold italic here. And we want to do the font color, which is right here. Automatic usually gives you black, but not guaranteed. Sometimes it gives you this color here. But let's just go to the last column, first cell, which is going to be a green. And then we want to go to the fill. We want no color. So right now it's got this color here. So let's click on no color. And I believe we're in good shape. Let's click on OK and see what happens. And click on OK. And so notice everything that we need to do is order it. So that looks good. Select the range A14 to A42. So A14 to A. Let's try it again up here. Let's do A14 to A42. Lets you select a range. And let's go and do the conditional formatting. And we want data bars, which we want orange on the gradient fill. So you can see the gradient bars and how they work. That was 1/2 of it, so let me put it on pause, and then we'll go and do the other one. So hopefully this was helpful for you, and this is going to be a find and replace for you. So let me pause it, and we'll do part 2.